I transferred to Temple University so I could have Dr. Jalla as my mentor and participate in his India, Culture, Art, and Religion Summer Study Abroad program. I already had much knowledge of Gujarati culture and had taken 2 semesters of Hindi, but I wanted to do something more. I wanted to begin making a large-scale difference regarding American societal perspectives, one that would change the way people define an American. So I decided to study arranged marriage in Drangadra, Gujarat. With the help of some amazing friends, I met very interesting people who allowed me to have a glimpse of their family's perspective on marriage. One person I visited was Priya. She expressed some important basic information about what her family expects from a future in-law.
પછી આપણે જ્યારે એટલે 18 વર્ષની ઉંમરની ઉપરની છોકરી હોય એ લગ્ન કરી બરોબર પછી જ્યારે એ છોકરા છોકરીના લગ્નનું જોવાનું હોય તમે કેવી રીતે પસંદ કરો
પેલા છોકરાના મા બાપ છોકરીના મા બાપ પરિવાર સારું લાગે ને એટલે કે છોકરા છોકરીને જોવાનું રાખે
એ તો વાત કરે ત્યારે એમની વાત કરે ત્યારે ને શરૂઆતમાં કેવી રીતે હોય એ તો પછી વાત થઈ ગયા પછી એકબીજા ઘરે જોવા આવે પણ શરૂઆતમાં ખબર કેવી રીતે પડે કે આને છોકરી છે આને છોકરો છે
એ તો એકબીજા સગાવાલા હોય ને બધાના સગા હોય એ વાત કરે એવી રીતે
એટલે સગાવાલા હોય એ વાત કરે
સગાવાલા હોય એ વાત કરી પછી આવે
એટલે એવું કંઈ ખરું કે આમ કોઈ છાપામાં જાહેરાત ને એવું બધું આપે
એવી રીતે અમારા
એવી રીતે નહીં ખાલી ક્યાંક લગ્ન પ્રસંગમાં ગયા હોય
The things Priya talked about are very standard for families to look into when arranging a marriage. When looking for an in-law, people explore many aspects of their lives, such as occupation, education level, and ethnicity. Ethnicity was very important for many people I talked to for a lot of reasons. For one thing, Drangadra is a small town, so ethnic diversity is quite limited to begin with, and a lot of people associated ethnicity with cultural, religious, and even linguistic differences. To put this into perspective, each state in India has its own language. So, for example, someone in Gujarat will speak Gujarati as a primary language, but someone from Karnataka will speak Kannada. These languages are so different that people would not be able to understand each other with their traditional languages alone. But of course, there are other things people look into when arranging a marriage. But I was curious to see if people arranged marriages for family members with disabilities as often as people without them. So, in order to find this out, I spoke to Dr. Patel, who shared very important information.
The handicapped people are the married. She wanted to be married. So parents are not helped. But all our institute are the marriage help to find out the girls as well as the boys.
From talking some more with Dr. Patel, I learned that schools help arrange marriages for disabled individuals based on the individual's feelings toward other classmates. So this form of marriage is somewhere in between being arranged and marrying based on love. To explore this further, I visited married couples who had disabilities. As a result, I learned that individuals are arranged with people who either have the same disability or a disability that's very similar to their own. But I had a problem. Since the program only lasted a month, I could not possibly explore arranged marriage in the depth I wanted to. This journey was just the beginning. I would have to return. However, I could still actively continue my research in America by making arranged marriage an American topic. A vast number of Americans within South Asian communities are expected to have arranged marriages, and I feel this is a very important topic that is not even thought about by most people in our society. It's time to change that.
My name is Abhishek. I'm from South India, Bangalore City, and this is my girlfriend, and she's going to ask me some questions. So what's your questions, Ian?
So, Do you remember what you told me about your parents and their views on marriage?
Well, they believe in arranged marriage. It's funny, even though they did not get arranged marriage, they expect me to not date anybody basically, and just they're gonna pick a girl for me and they expect me to marry them.
So your parents had a love marriage,
Yes.
but they want you to have an arranged one still?
Yes. They at least expect to have an Indian girlfriend.
Why?
Just their culture, that's how they grew up. And they wouldn't understand if you tell them, that's wrong.
So then, what's the usual practice then? Like if people wind up dating in America, they just don't tell their parents, or how does it work?
Well, they do, but I think it's like better to tell their parents when you make a good money or you make a good money or you have some kind of stable job and you can stand by yourself without anybody's help.
So it could be like a long time of dating before they know.
Yeah,
Do you think that's common?
it is common because you can tell them I can take care of myself and I think you'll be less afraid to tell them when you have a good job and your own place. So they know you're responsible. You're not just going around messing.
Like, what do you think would make it better? Like, what kind of characteristics do you think your parents would expect in general?
Well, having a wife?
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know, we don't really talk about it.
You don't?
No. All they say is we want be careful out there. We want don't date anybody. It's not good. But they don't really know how it is. All they do is work and come home, so they really don't know a lot of people. So, and I don't expect them to know. So I do understand both sides.
So you don't think it's like a kind of like intentional like bias or racism thing? You think it's just like a no exposure thing?
Well, it may sound like they're racist or biased, but if you think about themselves, like, I'm pretty sure you won't think it's racist because they don't know it. I mean, that's how they grew up, in their community or culture. So it's hard for them to, even though if you tell them, they won't accept it fully.